Welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I help private practice owners align their business back with their soul's calling, with their big vision and with their soul's purpose. Unlike other private practice coaches, I've traveled the world in search of spiritual resources, spiritual tools, education and information so that you can have the transformation that your soul desires and needs so that you can up-level your business. How much fun is this? I love it so much. Guys, if you're not already a member of the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group, please check out the show notes. I would love for you to be there. In the meantime, thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'm so thankful that you push play on another episode today. Thank you very, very much. And of course, welcome to all of the new subscribers. Hey, some cool stuff has been happening. One of the things is in our private practice hub, I have created a section for you called, the Private Practice with Soul podcast. And basically, you can register a little account to pop in there. And what I've done is I've gone through the back catalogue of my episodes and I've grouped them into categories for you. So if you're needing to get some inspiration or some tips or some transformation with something like mindset, all the mindset ones are in a certain category. If you need support with alignment, we've got alignment. Marketing, there's marketing. So it's all broken down there for you into sections, which will make your life so much easier. And congratulations. Big shout out to all the women that participated in the alignment challenge again last week. Again, just amazing results. So happy for them doing things like, actually manifesting referrals, manifesting bookings, getting new contracts. And it's not through working harder or doing more. It's through prioritizing what aligns with their soul values, which how cool is that? But today, what I want to talk with you about is how to name your offers, how to name your services, how to name, we talk about signature programs. So one of the things that came up during the week was an email from someone asking, could I do a podcast on how to name things in her practice? So of course we can do that. And it's come at a really good time because as some of you will know, I've also just given my products a great big overhaul. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's so embarrassing because it was so simple. And I don't know why nobody mentioned this to me before. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before. But as you know, I've been doing a lot of training lately on values-based marketing, which is why I've been able to share what I'm learning with you. But one of the things that I wanted to do was change some of the names of my offers, and with my business, it's got a few different arms to it. Okay, so it's one business, but I've got a counseling section over there, a coaching section over there. I do private practice consultancy work over there. And then I've got my online courses and online offers and things like that over there. And so what I'd originally done was named everything something different, which was fine. And I was, felt good and it felt aligned and But as a result of doing some training recently, what I've realized is that, and I didn't learn this in my training, this was something that sort of became a realization for me I think maybe even it was just maybe 2 days ago. I was sitting there watching Netflix, as you do, and you know how when you're disconnected from work, that's when all the downloads come? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, my group got it right. What an amazing group I've got. So the backstory just quickly is my group used to be called the Private Practice Monthly Membership. And I jumped in my group, I think it was last week, and I said, hey, I'm just in the mood to change the name of the group. What do you think? Do you guys have any ideas? And there's about 40 women in the group, and I just put it out to them to see how they felt about having a name change and, get their feedback. And it was so interesting because some of them came up with the most beautiful names that I would have jumped at in a heartbeat. And then one lady said, hey, why don't you just, she goes, oh, I really love the name of your podcast, Private Practice with Soul. Can you call it that? And so I thought, that is brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? And then some of the other ladies also said, hey, that makes a lot of sense and we would love for it to be called that, or something to that effect. So that's what I did. So I changed the name of the group to be now the Private Practice with Soul community. And then I thought, this feels so good. Maybe I should just call everything Private Practice with Soul. Like, I've trademarked the name. So yeah, let's do it. So yeah, everything's now had a name change. So everything's still the same, but the name is different. So now all my stuff is called Private Practice with Soul, and then whatever it is. So supervision, group supervision, class of 2021, where the women are doing 12 months of training in private practice and how to get it set up and flourishing and in a way that aligns with their soul. Private Practice with Soul podcast, Private Practice with Soul kit, everything's now Private Practice with Soul. And it just feels so good because I feel like, wow, I'm doing it. Like, I'm really embodying my brand. Like, I've really got that brand consistency. And the other thing that I did this week was I taught people in my groups. So apart from the group I just told you about, I also have another group called ACPPO. It's Australian Counsellors in Private Practice Online. So I just taught the people in both of those groups as well, if they were interested, how to create a favicon for their brand, so that whenever somebody's on their website, you know, up the top of the tab in the browser, how it will say the name of the website you're on, and then like if it's YouTube, it has that little red box with the white arrow, or if it's Facebook, it's got that little blue circle up the top in the tab with a white F. Yeah, that's a favicon. And it just really helps with branding, brand recognition and things. You know, the more times people see that symbol or that logo, the more familiar and attached they become to the brand. And that's what we want to create for our clients. So I taught them how to do favicons, and it's been really fun seeing what everybody's come up with. And I love going to their websites now. Not everybody did it, but the ones who did, oh my gosh, so much fun. Okay, so I want to talk with you about how you could name some of the offers and programs that you're putting together as well. Now, this is going to work for programs, for groups, for online courses, downloads, digital products, services, things like that, okay? Pretty much the sky's the limit. So I have a really super simple formula that you can use. And look, there are different ways that you can do this, but I just want to give you the simplest one so that you can have a quick win from our episode today, and you can go away and you can say, oh yeah, I just came up with a name for that, and that was really fun, and that was really light and easy, and I can't believe I did it. And when you've done it, I absolutely want you to email me and let me know the name of your program so I can give you a big shout out next time. So are you ready? Okay, here we go. So the first step is optional, but something that can be really helpful is just to call it the. Okay. So when I first started naming my podcast, you know, Private Practice with Soul, it was originally called the Private Practice Method. So think about using the word the as the very first word. Okay. The second step is to brainstorm under a few different headings. So one of the headings I want you to brainstorm under is the benefits. Okay, the benefits of that program. So if you have a program that teaches people about anxiety, and that program includes, I don't know, let's say it includes some videos, you want to say, you know, why is that a good thing? Like what's the value, or what's the benefit of having a video? And an example might be, well, you know, we include these videos so that you can replay them at a time that really suits you when the kids are in bed, or I've included transcripts so that you don't have to sit through an hour of watching a video. I've included an audio only option so that you can listen and still get all the information you want while you're commuting to work. It's the beautiful thing about an audio file. So really think about the key benefits of what your service or offer or program provides for the people. They don't want to hear about how many modules it is and how many weeks it's going to take them. I mean, that's not true. They do want to know how long it's going to take them, but they don't want to know about all of the PDFs and workbook. They don't really care about that. They're really interested in what's the benefit. Why is this a good thing for them? So brainstorm as many of the benefits as you possibly can. Another thing that you can brainstorm is the results. What are the results that people can expect to achieve as a result of purchasing your online program, doing your course, attending your workshop, going through your, 4 weeks to anxiety workshop program or whatever it is? What results can they expect? And it's very hard to say with 100% certainty that these are what everybody's going to achieve or experience because, nothing's 100%. So, of course, you want to include a little disclaimer like the results are different for everybody, but in the past, people typically have been able to learn 3 new ways of breathing and, reduce their overall symptoms of anxiety. And we know this because we tested them before and after we taught them this stuff or whatever it is. So give them some idea of the results that they can expect. Think about the results. Think about what else have I written here? Think about your name. So just like I was explaining to you, I've renamed all of my products to begin with Private Practice with Soul. And then I've said what the thing is, whether it's supervision, whether it's a community, whether it's a membership, whether it's a kit, whether it's, a podcast. So I'm using my brand name first and then I'm putting whatever it is after that. And I do that now, although it's quite recent. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. But anyway, I'm doing that now so that I get brand consistency. So that, it's not going to happen next week, but hopefully over the next 12 months, people will start to hear Private Practice with Soul and they'll know that it's my stuff. They'll know that it's me and they'll know that it's good quality and all of the wonderful things that come along with brand recognition. So if you want to build brand recognition, that might be an option for you. Something else that can work really, really well is alliteration. So alliteration is where we take the first letter of the first word and use it as the first letter of the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth and however many words you want to have. So I have alliteration for one of mine. I think the product used to be called Aligned, Activated and Abundant. So it's AAA. But you could choose any letter that you want as long as it speaks to embedding some kind of outcome or result. So with Aligned, Activated and Abundant, embedded in there is the promise that when you do that free training, you're going to learn how to operate the practice in alignment with your values, how to activate your values in your practice, and how to call in abundance as a result of that. So I'm kind of embedding a promise there and using alliteration. And then the other option, and these aren't exhaustive, I'm sure you'll be able to think of more, but another option is to have something that rhymes, so words that sound the same. I can't think of any off the top of my head now, but you might say, I'm trying to think of a word that rhymes with anxiety or anxious, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you might want to, I don't know, like happy chappy. That's not a fantastic example, but it's the idea that came to mind. But something rhyming will also be very catchy, and we want to make this really, really memorable for people so that they come back to it. So there are a few ideas, and what you would do once you've got your little headings there and you've brainstormed under all of those, I really recommend the last step is using a word that really speaks to overall what it is that you're selling, like the format, or your big goal. And so words that you could use, like I used to use method. I still do use method, but so my approach used to be called the private practice method. Now it's the private practice with soul method, but method conveys, what you're going to be learning, right? You're going to be learning my way of creating a private practice in soul alignment. This is the steps. Method implies steps, strategy, process, technique. You could use the words process. You could use the words technique. You could use the word strategy. You could use the word mastermind. You could use the word plan, or all those sorts of things. Okay. And then what you do, so once you've brainstormed, what the overarching thing is, then it's just a matter of shuffling them all up, just having a look. And so the simplest way of doing this would be on some little index cards or on some pieces of paper, write down separately, some of the benefits, and then write down separately some of the results, and then write down separately some of the alliteration you came up with, and then write down on separate cards some of the rhymes you came up with. And then on separate cards, write up some of the words that represent what it is, whether it's, you want to call it a strategy, a method, a toolkit, toolbox, program, technique, anything like that. And then this is where it comes fun, because it's kind of like a card sort exercise. You're going to have the word "that" in the beginning, and then you're just going to pick a card from your middle pile, which is around the benefits or the results or the name or alliteration or rhyming words, and pick one there. And then you're going to card sort and put, what the outcome is or what the big thing is. And so you might end up with, I'm just trying to think off the top. Well, for me, it was the private practice with soul method. But treat this process like a card sort, because I think there's something very powerful about being able to see things and shuffle them around and slide them around. And you'll be amazed at some of the ideas that come up for you when you do this. So each thing goes on its own little card. Have a little bit of a shuffle. The first card is going to be a middle card is going to come from the benefits, the results, the name, alliteration, rhyme, or something like that. And the third card is going to come from what the overarching thing is. Have a shuffle around, have a play with them, and let me know what comes up for you in terms of what you're going to name your product or your service or your offer. I am so, so, so excited for you to try this. As I said, I want you to have a quick win today. That's something a little bit fun. For those of you who have somebody working in the team, maybe I don't know, let's say provisional psych or, someone like that. This might be a really fun activity for them to sort of have a bit of a play around with as well, and get them to come back to you with a few ideas. And it can be fun for you too. It's these cards, you could, cut them up and leave them in the lunchroom and let everybody have a bit of a play around with them and see who comes up with like a really cool name for one of your programs. It could be a really good team building exercise. Maybe if you have group supervision for your practice, at the start or at the end of group supervision, just as an activity for a little bit of a warm up or a cool down, you might get them to, as a group, shuffle around some of these cards and see what they can come up with in terms of names for things for your practice. And I think that will also really help with buy-in and engagement. And, when people feel a sense of ownership over that, they're probably more likely to promote it for you as well, because they're going to be excited that they've had a role to play, if that makes sense. Anyway, so just a quick podcast today. I want you to have a quick win. Would you please let me know how you go with it? Just send an email to hello. No, that's not it. Yes, it is. Send an email to me at hello@brooklynstorm.com. And I'll also put a link to the resources section for you as well. Super excited because we're going to have a VIP shopping day soon. In order for you to get access to the VIP shopping day in the Private Practice with Soul Hub, all you need to do is be on the email list. So if you want to join that, head over to resources.brooklynstorm.com and sign up for one of the freebies in there, and you'll automatically go on the list. And then you'll enjoy some of the VIP specials that aren't available to the general public, because I want to look after you guys and say thank you and really find a way of expressing my gratitude to you for being here. So thank you so much for being here. Good luck naming your things. I can't wait to hear how you go with it. And I will talk to you later. Have a beautiful day, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast today. If you're looking for clarity, if you need help with branding, your processes, and bringing everything into alignment with your soul's purpose for your private practice, head to the show notes and click the link for more information about the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. You are going to love it. I can't wait to see you in there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.